So hi guys, welcome to the sixth. Is it the seventh episode of the Forex market breakdowns? And in this episode, we are not going to go through the fundamentals like we always do, because we have uploaded some of the content that we have on fundamentals on our site on the trading wall section. We have the political events that are coming up, like the US election that is going on today. Tomorrow we have the Feds. Yesterday we had the Iran sanctions. And you also have the economic calendar up there. You can check out what is expected to be released today. But for this video, we'll jump straight into the charts, and we'll start off with the euro dollar. And euro dollar, we're on the weekly chart currently, and I'll break it down for you guys to be able to see where we are going and where we are currently. So first of all, before I even break down this pair, I don't expect much movement today and tomorrow because of the elections of today and tomorrow. We also have the Fed, so perhaps many moves will happen after tomorrow, but also we also check how the market is aligned technically before factoring in the fundamentals. So I'll first show you how the market is aligned technically, then I assume that you guys will be able to factor in the fundamentals as they'll be developing during the week. So we start off from the weekly chart. We were waiting for a break of 1450, which happened last week, and we're also waiting for a move to take out this initial low, but unfortunately we never got the move to take out the initial low. Instead, we got an indecisive candle closing at this point, which I still don't think is a bullish signal, honestly. And you can see currently that during this week the markets are going higher. So if I go down to the daily chart, and I hope you have noticed that you have not yet printed a lower low on the weekly chart. So this is the daily chart. On the daily chart, you can see we had a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, and finally I had highlighted last week that we might get a return move to retest the 1450, especially since it was quite a task breaking past that level. And you can see what happened. We had a slight move to 1330, but we never got to break past that level. In fact, we had a 25 pip false breakout before finally going higher and heading all the way to retest the 1450. Currently I'm short on the euro, but in my mind I have the fundamentals factored in because that could change the whole game. But for now, I'm short on euro, and I don't see honestly how we could be going past the 1450 level. So depending on how the elections turn out and how investors will be positioning themselves, also we are looking at the Fed's decision tomorrow. Will they hike or will they not hike? If they don't hike, then I expect the euro to fall down, and even if they hike, I still expect the euro to go down lower. So that's the daily chart, and I expect the euro to sink in at least to 1260 before going any further. But we are waiting for the elections. In case of any change of bias, I'll be telling you, but I don't see any move past the 1450 level unless a false breakout. I don't see any solid move past this level and going higher. Expect the euro to go lower and tank even to this level, maybe before the end of this year or early next year. But that's my long-term bias, and you guys should not just follow. So on the 4-hour chart, this is the 4-hour chart on euro. I actually have this trend line. I remember last week when I was highlighting for you guys, I was highlighting this fib and I moved to the downward side, and you can see we had that move. Hope you guys collected those pips, and hope you guys never held expecting that 1260 would ultimately be hit. And the markets also need to be flexible. You can see we had that move. Remember highlighting that 78.6, boom, we had a return move all the way to 27.2. And if I place the past pivots, I'm sure you guys will be able to see that was also a previous pivot point. So you can see we were capped by S2 before going higher. Anyway, these are some of the things that you get to learn once you enroll in our course. So we had a move from that level, from the 27.2, and a return move all the way to 1450, retesting the move that I had earlier indicated. And after 1450, you can see we had a straight down leg now. And finally yesterday and early today during the Tokyo session, we've tested, we have gotten a rejection at this level, and we are trying to go higher, but I don't see how we'll go higher. What I expect is the euro today will just consolidate before the elections outcome, and perhaps even tomorrow we'll get some consolidation. But today's outcome will really determine if we'll get a consolidation, because investors and traders are waiting for the outcome to know how to best position themselves. So that's my euro bias, and I'll go down to the next pair, which is USD CAD. So this is the USD CAD weekly chart. And for USD CAD, we're at a crucial level, the third higher low on this trend line, which is also a triangle. But we can see that we still have some bullish candles, and although we have some wicks coming into the market, we can expect a break of this trend line and perhaps a touch of 1.32 from the behavior of price action. So if I go down to the 4-hour time frame, to the daily time frame, I mean the daily time frame, so that I can show you precisely what I have over there. Is this my daily time frame on USD CAD? No. Yeah, this is my daily time frame. So yeah, you can see that we have been going higher, and you can see a higher low, a higher low, a higher low that we had highlighted. And always, guys, make sure that you check out the previous video before checking out this video, so that you can be able to get the continuation of the analysis. Like last week, we had highlighted a rejection of this level and a move to 1.3050 before a move upwards. Hope you guys were able to get both moves and were able to anticipate both moves, because trading is basically a game of seeing where the markets are trying to go. So yeah, you can see that we had a move and we were capped by this trend line, and now we can see already we have some bullish momentum coming back in. For USD CAD, as long as we are above this 1.3050 level, then I'm bullish on this pair. For as long as we sit above 1.3050, this is a pair that can really consolidate or can really change directions really fast. But for as long as we are above 1.3050, then I'm looking for 1.32. And when you get to the 1.32, I'll be updating you on what will be happening on this pair based on the behavior of price action. So for now, I'm waiting for a move to 1.32, and I'm not seeing any how that will break below the 1.3050 level. And if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, so that I can show you precisely what I mean, you can see I have this sexy channel over here, and you can see we have a move 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, then you had another move, and it was at this point that I highlighted that you could be getting a move to retouch this 1.3050 and also to touch the trend line the 4th time. So yeah, guys, you can see we touched the trend line the 4th time, formed a fib at that level, and if I measure that fib, you guys can be able to see that we touched that fib from the 61.8 level. A very nice touch, respected the level, respected the trend line, and I was already long. I'm currently also long, and I'm waiting for a move to touch this level, the 1.32 level. I don't have all my tools that I use over here, but I'm quite solid that we could be getting a move to this point. We had this inside bar, we had a false breakout, we then had a return move to touch this trend line, and now we are going higher. So I'll just even get it off for now because it was nullified and I don't see how I'll be using it. So yeah, USD CAD, I'm long, I'm waiting for 1.32 as long as we sit above the 1.3050. In case of a break below the 1.3050, then I'll be updating you guys on how I think this pair will be playing out, depending on how price action will be telling me. But for now, bullish on USD CAD to the 1.32 level. So the next pair that I'll maybe do is gold. This is gold, and gold will start off with a weekly chart. On gold, we have quite a good play out coming on gold. I think 2019 gold will be making a big move. So, but for now, let's just focus on what is happening now. So for gold, we had a move all the way down, touch the 1175 level, consolidation, and then we had this breakout all the way to 1240, touch this trend line the 3rd time, which I'll show you also on the daily chart. And we can see we tried going lower, but last week we had a move back up, forming a hammer, and also signifying that the bulls were also taking in some momentum. So what do I expect of gold this week? If I go down to the daily chart on gold, I have 2 trend lines. I have one trend line up that's sloping downwards, and you have touched the trend line the 3rd time, and I also have this channel over here. So if I use the 2 and try, and I also have my levels marked, and you can see the levels marked. We have 1240, which was capped. 1240 was capped. The 3rd trend line bounce also, and you can see a continuation with a 3-pin pattern. We headed lower. Finally, we were rejected this level, the 1215 mark, and boom, we went back higher. So what do I think of gold? Honestly, based on my analysis on other pairs and the correlation between gold and the dollar index, I expect gold to first head lower to this mark, the 27.2 mark. Despite the candle on the weekly chart, I expect gold to head lower to this mark before heading higher. This is because we have been capped by the 78.6, and I just think this was a return move to retest this level and also a pullback. So for gold, I'm looking for 12.15. 12.15. After 12.15, I'm looking from 12.05. Those zones. I'm actually looking for this zone, which I'll highlight for you guys so that you'll be able to see. I'm looking for this top zone over here. So yeah, for gold, I'm short and I'm waiting for this level to be hit. Probably after the US elections are out and the Feds make their decisions. So probably by the end of next week, I expect gold to be headed lower, touching this mark and touching this trend line the fourth time again. So when we get to this mark, I'll be updating you. And if I go down to the 4-hour chart, I'll show you the setup precisely. So this is the 4-hour chart, and as long as we are below this 78.6 Fibonacci level, then I expect the markets to be heading lower, taking out this initial low, breaking this trend line and going lower to 12.45, just like I've shown you on the daily chart. So yeah, that's my bias on gold, and gold is one commodity that really likes respecting the direction and really likes behaving in a certain way, especially during the geopolitics. So let's wait for today's election to be out and we can make our decisions. Crude oil 1 week chart. This is crude oil. I have my levels marked and my levels are quite neat on this pair. So this is crude oil, and I'll just zoom in for you guys to be able to see. So yeah, for crude oil, first of all, we have this trend line, this move. Over the last 3 weeks, we have lost almost $10 on this, the price of this commodity. And yesterday we saw some momentum try to come back in to push it higher after the US imposed the sanctions on Iran, but we closed back lower. So what do I see of oil? Oil, I'm looking for $60, which will also be a third trend line touch of this big trend line over here, and it will also be a pullback, significant pullback. So I'm not yet looking for a bear market on oil, and I'm not calling for a bear market, but I think this is just a pullback of this big move that we had all the way from the $40 mark to the $75 mark. So I think we'll be testing the $60 mark before going higher, but that's technically. Fundamentally, we have some issues like the Iran sanctions, and we don't know how they'll be solved yet. So I hope you guys will be also keen on those developments, especially if you want to trade this commodity. So if I go down to the daily chart on this pair, no, I just made a mistake. Let me go back. This is the daily chart. So yeah, this is the daily chart on oil. You can see my levels have really helped me in mapping out the price action on this pair. You can see we had a break, had a retest, a break, a retest, a break, again a retest, a break. And now definitely expect a retest of 65 before going back lower to the $60 mark. So I'm waiting for a move to 65. If we don't get a move to 65, but I honestly don't see how we'll be getting a move. This candle that was formed yesterday is also a very good bottom signal, and I honestly expect a move to 65 before going lower to touch the $60. So that's oil. And last week I had highlighted that I expected a move to touch the $70 mark, but we never got the move. Instead, what did we get? I remember highlighting these 3 touches: first touch, second touch, the third touch, and the fourth touch. What we got was a break and a retest, which was a confirmation of the break. And you can see what happened after that was bearish momentum came back into the market, pushing this commodity lower, breaking past the 65 level, heading lower to touch the 62 level. So yeah guys, just as you watch this analysis, also remember that I'm quick to change my mind, and especially when the markets tell me I'm wrong. So when the markets are speaking, I'm quick to listen. So hope you guys are also adaptable and don't stick to this analysis. Just some will play out, some will not play out, and if they don't play out, it's always nice to check why they never play out. So yeah, that's oil, and I'll do the final. I'll do GBP USD, which will be the final. So yeah, this is GBP USD, the weekly chart. A lot of analysis over here. So yeah, you can see we had this move, and before we had this reversal, we had this consolidation at this level, then we had this reversal, a break 3750, a touch of 330, a comeback, then we had a move all the way to the 1.27. So yeah, for the pound, I expect a move below the 1.27 mark to head lower. But remember, this month will mark the deadline for Brexit negotiations, and the deal will soon be announced. So for this pair right now, I think for the pound, what investors are really waiting for is the decision on Brexit and the US elections. So for this pair, you can see we had this trend line, we had a break, we don't have a retest yet, and then we had this move. So I brought back this trend line because I expect the markets to perhaps go higher and touch this trend line, making a retest of this trend line, which will also be a pullback. And if I use my Fibonacci again to get the, this is the Fibonacci tool, and boom, from there to there, yeah, you can see we got to that point, and wow, I expect the market to go back to this level 78.6, which is the 1.3150 level. I have that level at the back of my mind. So 1.3150, I'm looking for that level, especially if we remain above the 1.30. So if we remain above the 1.30, I'm looking for 1.350 on the pound. And on the 4-hour chart, I can show you precisely, yeah, this level, I'm looking for this level after we break off the trend line. So yeah, pound, you can see we had this move, again I have moved. So we are waiting for a break of this trend line and at least a touch of this level 1.3150 before making the next decision on this pair, which is 100 pips away. Currently we are 2 hours into London Open, so expect some momentum to be coming into the market, but honestly, with the US elections, don't expect a lot today. So let's wait so that you can see how the markets will play out after the US elections. Not much more volume will be coming into the markets today, and you can just sit tight and watch. So that's all from our side, and hope you guys have a good day, have a good week, and may the pips be with you.